Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Connor again, and today we are going to be doing work on our new Dynamite 7x16 trailer that my father and I just picked up for all the motorcycle adventures. So we got this thing completely raw, completely straight from Dynamite Trailers, a local dealership out in, insert name here, Benson. I forget where it was, doesn't matter. But let me pull this thing down. This is so new. I mean, it's very, very pretty. So you already see we got one of our wheel chucks in here. But a good 7x16 and perfect height, like 6'3", I think is what they say it is. So absolutely wonderful for that. And as you can see, it's a bare canvas, like completely bare canvas. And I've been doing a lot of research online, trying to figure out what to do with this thing. And almost all in agreement is you need to paint the walls and probably epoxy the floor, especially if you're doing motorcycle stuff. Because also it'll just make it last longer and better and, you know, things like that. So, my father and I went to Home Depot today and we picked up a lot of stuff. It's like, it was a lot, but it's going to be so much better in the long term. So I'm going to unload all this stuff and show you what we got and then start the process, because in this video I think I'm just going to be painting these walls. We have the plans to do paint the walls, epoxy the floors, E-track, toolbox and kit, lighting for here, maybe some insulation up here because there is some already. But yeah. Let me get unloaded and show you what I got. Alrighty then. So, I didn't show you everything, so here's all the stuff. I'll go through it all later. What's important right now is we have paint sprayer, and if we need to, rollers and brushes and all these other things. So, I just spent about the last hour or so doing the prep, because as you know, with paint, it's all about the prep. Like 90% prep, 10% spray, paint, whatever the hell you want to call it. So let me spin you around real quick. And you can see I have the magic tarp of Please No Overspray down. I have painter taped the inlet and outlet vents. So I think we're good. I'm not as concerned. I'm going to actually brush these tops so I don't have the spray gun going up there so we don't get the roof. But we'll see how all that works out. But right now, I'm still in like decent clothes, so I need to change into painter's clothes. So I'm gonna do that right about, all right, much better. I'm wearing a tie-dye shirt. My friend Lauren's birthday from a while back. Shout out to Lauren and my buddy Cliff, Scrapper. And so, now that we've got it all taped up here, and I actually did watch the little video on how to use this power sprayer. Paint sprayer? Yeah. I looked at the instructions because I didn't know. But first thing I gotta do, no matter what, I suspect, is do all this trim. Because as you can see, there's a whole bunch of like cross beams and stuff like that. So instead of relying completely on the sprayer, I'm going to brush that in. So I'm gonna put on a time lapse and get to work on that. Looks like I got a little paint on me. All right, so we are finished with coat number 1. You can kind of tell it's a little brighter in there. You have to go back in the video to actually see. But yeah, the paint sprayer did a pretty good job. Only jammed up once or twice, I think, if you may have seen in the time lapse. But definitely had to grab out the old N95 because even though I had this place open and had the doors and a heck of a lot of good airflow, I was still starting to smell a little bit of the fumes. So, but I think it turned out pretty well. A little bit of overspray on the upper truss beams, but you know, I can live with that. I don't really care. But definitely gonna need a second coat, if not a third, because my lord, this wood is thirsty. I mean thirsty with a capital T. It is drinking the paint. So I've used 1 full can to 1 gallon to go around this once already. I'm gonna let it dry for a little bit and then come back and hit it with a second coat tonight to hopefully, there goes my light, come back light, to let it sit overnight and dry out hopefully before the rain comes. Because obviously once the rain comes, I can't be doing any painting work out here because it will just, well, it won't work. So it also means I can't do the epoxy floor, which is fine. I need to like spread this over a couple of days anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna go take a quick break and then come back and do the second round of paint. Okay, 4 coats of paint later. It's pretty good. Like honestly, it's not bad. So now we get to do the lovely thing of let it dry in a rainstorm and see where we are on Tuesday, and hopefully then we can start doing the floor, because that's really what we're gonna see if this is too baby blue powder or will it work just fine. But stay tuned. I'll catch you guys in a few days. All right, so we are back. It's 3 days later. As you can tell by my attire, the weather has changed slightly. Where I was doing like this at 80 degrees on Saturday, whatever day it was, it's now like 50, so a little chilly. But as you can see, I've pulled off all the painter's tape that was in the trailer, and you can tell we've kind of test fit where the bikes need to go. But today is floor day, so I'm going to retape up this and then put some E-track in here as well. We're not going to leave it in there while we epoxy or while we do the floor, but it's just to make sure I have the screw holes ready, because I don't want to be really drilling into epoxy if I don't have to after the fact. So I'm going to pre-drill some holes, put some tape around them, and then hopefully it will be fine when we have to reinstall it after the 2 coats are done. That's my theory. That's my hope. I'm gonna cross my fingers again. But yeah, so I'm gonna get everything set up, and I'm gonna put a time lapse back up, because that's the easiest way I can think to like really show you guys all this progress, because this takes hours by myself. So, but hope you enjoy. So I'm a terrible YouTuber, videographer, all that stuff. So you can kind of see I've retaped the bottom, and I've measured and drilled out holes for all of the E-track. Now, I'm doing this as I'm pre-drilling holes, because I was told when you do the epoxy that if you do not do it the right way, then you'll end up cracking your brand new floor. So I pre-drilled some holes for the E-track, and I've got the ones not against the wall screwed in, as you can see, because I'm going to do the trim piece first. We left a little bit of a gap all the way around, just because when stuff gets in here and make it nice and easy. So yeah, so the plan now is to mix up this part A, part B. I only have 1 camera and I don't have my tripod, so I can't exactly show it, but basically you take this bag here. It's part of the 2-car kit of epoxy floor. Actually, I can go over here and find it. Sorry for the mess, people, but that's how it works. Rust-Oleum Garage Shield Kit. 2.5 car. Now, we got 2.5 car because every single video I've seen says this wood absorbs way too much, and you kind of need it for this large an area, even though this is just shy of 135 square feet, give or take. And this should hold about 500. Yeah, they just say you need it. So I'm going to mix this up. It takes about 3.5 minutes, and then I'm going to start painting the wall pieces, and then slowly work my way all the way back. And this time, I'll do a time lapse. And just like that, overnight, we have a first coat done. It's showing my shoe prints, obviously, but let me flip it around. It looks pretty good. My painter's tape sucks, but that's not surprising. But, you know, I'm pleasantly surprised how well this looks. So you can see the sheen and all that stuff. So what we have to do now is I need to mix up one more batch. And this time I'm adding in the sand, texture additive stuff. But I'm also going to put down some paint chips, some like blue-gray paint chips. They'll hide a lot of the sins of what's in there. So I will set up the time lapse again, and we'll go from there. Also, by the way, my dad's heritage is getting some updates. That video will come out soon. Well, it'll come out after this. So, all right, let's get to work. So I was about to pack it up for the day, and I realized I never gave you guys a picture of what she looks like all completed. It's about to storm very, very hard. So we've got our little foldy uppy thingy over there, aka roll of painter's tape, so that we can have a an easy, well, hopefully it'll still dry. Oh, I need to pull off this last piece. So I kind of painter's taped the sides. It kind of worked, it kind of didn't. I mean, I'm probably just going to come back over this with some black paint anyway, because the epoxy definitely got through the painter's tape layer. But it's not the end of the world, because you know what? It looks awesome. So, alright, I'm going to close this up, and I will see y'all in 3 days. For you, it's going to be about 3 seconds, but for me, it's going to be a painful wait. All right.